up, and welcome back to another video on streaming stars. Brooklyn Nine-Nine took the world by storm soon after its release. The super hit family sitcom gained an even bigger audience after the release of the 7th season this year, but the series also contains a few mistakes that might have slipped by the fans while watching it. Here are some of the biggest blunders on the show that were pretty hard to catch at first. But before we start, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of more awesome videos in the future. Number 10. Gina's confusing lines. Gina is a strange character. Even today, fans can't comprehend the meaning behind some of her lines and actions. Even though she's one of the smartest members on the team, she works in a different manner from the rest. Even her lines make us scratch our head at times. In the episode of Boyle-Linetti Wedding, Gina gave a moment of confusion and question in a matter of minutes. When Jake told Gina that she looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, Gina replied that she had no idea about the reference he had made. But just minutes later, she told Jake that she would call him a hobbit. If she hadn't watched any of those movies before, how did she even make that reference? Number 9. Jake's undercover storyline. Jake is by far the most highlighted character of the show. From the first episode, fans knew exactly that Jake was the star of the series due to his wit and humor. The detective's ideas and punchlines were so comical and delivered with perfection that viewers fell in love with the character from the get-go. But there seems to be a small problem in one of Jake's missions. In the last episode of the first season, Captain Holt fired Jake from the precinct. People were surprised when they discovered that Jake had gone undercover to bring about a dangerous mob. Later in the season, Jake described the length of his undercover mission to be 6 months. This seems reasonable as he required some time to gain the trust of his target. Later, when Adrian Pimento stepped into the building, he forgot how long he had been undercover. As he understood Pimento's condition, he mentioned about his recent mission that lasted for 63 days. That reduces the length by 4 months and makes us wonder if he's bad at remembering dates. Number 8. The Forgotten Member. Throughout the show, fans couldn't get enough of Hitchcock and Scully's antics. The duo provided the show with great punches of laughter and surprise. Although the two were deemed as the most useless officers in the precinct, the show would become incomplete without them. Their love for food and expertise in that department made everyone grasp for breath when there was anything related to it. The interesting fact to notice was that in the very first episode of the first season, there was another member of the Hitchcock and Scully group. Not many fans would remember, but Daniels was also a part of the precinct working with the two. However, she would never be seen again after the pilot episode. Maybe it's because she didn't make it to work on time and was fired? Pun intended. Number 7. Conflict resolved? Not many characters stand out as much as Captain Raymond Holt. The man is a genius who can supervise and solve criminal cases with his mind, while also taking care of the things that matter. Throughout the show, Captain Holt told his colleagues about his struggles for the position. As much as the characters of the show love and respect Holt, there are some characters that despise the captain. Apart from the criminals that Captain Holt caught from time to time, his husband Kevin's parents hate him just as much. According to the storyline, Kevin's parents resent homosexuality and don't want to talk to Captain Holt. This was a sad moment, but if you watch the episode 2 Turkeys, you'll be surprised. In that episode, Captain Holt was investigating his team because his pie had been stolen. While the episode was hilarious, when you look back at the purpose of the pie, you'll be shocked that Captain Holt and Kevin were going to Kevin's parents' house for Thanksgiving. So, was it an error, or did they settle those issues without telling anybody? Number 6. Boyle's Turkey Day. Charles Boyle was a hardworking and very skillful officer of the 99 Precinct. His life was full of new challenges, and he loved to take them on. He was also a very dedicated food lover. He could eat all day and still made progress in the office. So it's safe to say that he knew how to balance his diet and work. For a foodie like Boyle, holidays are a treat from the beginning. The character loves to cook and has a special liking for Thanksgiving. As there are plenty of options on the table that day, especially turkeys, Cooking and eating turkeys is Boyle's happiest hour of the day. Boyle is so influenced by the holiday and the specific animal that he spent an episode trying to change Thanksgiving Day to Turkey Day. While this may be a core value for Charles, the rest of the team thought of it as a stupid idea. And the surprise came a few seasons later when he returned to calling it Thanksgiving Day. Was that an error, or did the team finally talk him out of calling it the former? Number 5. Jake's fear of kids. Jake and Amy's love story has been brewing since the pilot episode. Fans knew that the two would end up together because of the rivalry and chemistry they had between them. Although they were extremely competitive on their jobs and made bets whenever they were behind schedule, the two finally got together after a few dates. Even after committing to each other, the couple didn't lose the romantic bond that they shared. They worked together and got married happily. Unfortunately, one debate became somewhat troublesome for them when it wasn't a problem since the start. After their marriage, Jake was quite surprised that Amy told him that she wanted a baby. They even debated on the topic with Captain Holt as the judge. While Jake described his fears about having a kid, looking back at the previous seasons would puzzle any viewer. Throughout the seasons, Jake kept talking about how he wanted to have kids on several occasions. Maybe that was a plot twist by the story writers, or maybe it was a mistake. Number 4. Terry's flashback. Terry Jeffords is the fittest and most athletic character on the show. His body speaks volumes about his strength and speed. The character can fight and tackle any physical challenge with ease. Fans noticed that he kept a strict diet and scheduled routine, but still gained weight on multiple occasions. But his past doesn't match with what he says and what we see. In one episode, Terry told a precinct that he was short and chubby in his childhood days. Later in the episode The Mole, Terry went undercover with Rosa in a nightclub. There, the detective had flashbacks of his childhood. In those flashbacks, viewers clearly saw a young Terry dancing. If you notice carefully, Terry at the time was tall and lean. So did Terry lie to keep his persona intact? Number 3. The useless veterans. Hitchcock and Scully are shown as only food lovers and of no good use for the team. At one moment, Hitchcock told Jake that they only pretended to do nothing because that would make them useless and nobody would want their help or ask them to do anything. Except in a few cases, they're only shown to be around food or some other errands of the precinct. But their past seems to be quite different as compared to what they show in the present day. When the two remember their days of glory, they describe their story of arresting a drug lord by themselves in the 1980s. Some pages even state that Hitchcock has more arrests than any other officer in the precinct to this day. The two men were actually shown to be pretty young and well built in their earlier days with the force, but eventually lost their muscles and strength. But if you watch the first season again, you'll notice a different version of young Hitchcock and Scully from the 1970s. The two look almost similar to their present form. Did the writers forget about this episode while filming the drug lord's arrest? Number 2. Jake and Terry's bond. Terry is seen to have a close relationship with everybody in the precinct. He helped everyone out of the goodness in his heart and made sure everyone was safe and happy. But his bond with Jake was a questionable one. Throughout the length of the show, the audience saw numerous moments where Jake and Terry had a good time together. Terry showed concern for Jake a number of times. He even scolded Jake and told him that he cared for him like one of his daughters. As heartwarming as it sounds, it can create a small mess for fans if they move forward a little. When Terry went to the hospital for a vasectomy, he told Jake that he wasn't the exact type of friend Terry had in mind, and that they weren't that close. It looks like a mistake in the script, but who knows? Maybe it was the anesthesia that was talking. Number 1. Captain Holt's contradictions. Captain Holt is one of the most influential and respected characters. Since the start of the series, we saw how he proved to be the perfect leader for the precinct, but when we look at some of his actions and statements after a few seasons, everyone will doubt the story writers more and more. At one moment, Captain Holt told Boyle that he didn't like the texture and taste of food. He would eat bland protein bars as they contained all the necessary nutrients for his body. It looked as if he had no taste preferences. Later in the show, viewers found out that Captain Holt followed Boyle's food blog, as it was the only place which featured a mouthfeel index. While that is more of a made-up concept by Boyle, it looks as if it attracted Captain Holt to the page, who had no regard for flavor. Many fans would say that he only did that to find the best restaurant for him and Kevin, but it doesn't sound too good to be true. The following evidence also gives more value to this error. In one episode, he told the precinct that he didn't have a television in his bedroom. It seems a little extravagant considering his position and lifestyle, but his lie was caught a bit later when Amy used a remote in his bedroom to switch on a television during a party. On several occasions, we saw Captain Holt disregard lying as wrong and unethical, but the character used dishonesty to save people's feelings multiple times. The character helped Hitchcock and Scully when they missed a birthday party by lying about his Ecuador trip. However, the man strongly condemned Terry when he lied to Gina about attending her dance performance. It seems as if Captain Holt was a character of mystery and lies, masked by flawless leadership and skills. Most of the mysterious characters have had the biggest blunders in their arcs, while characters like Jake got away with their carelessness. It was very hard looking for Amy's mistakes anywhere in the storyline, but these ones made it to the list. A few other mistakes can be noticed by the die-hard fans, and they're exciting as well. Well, this brings us to the end of another episode, which we hope you guys enjoyed. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and do hit the bell icon to be notified of more videos in the future. Until then, take care and goodbye.